What's up, YouTube? What's up, YouTube? It's your girl, Fire Flames, and I am back with a very much awaited video. Well, very much awaited for me, because I keep saying I was going to make this video, and I still taking my sweet time making it, but this is my labor and delivery story. So it is, I think it's the May 28th. It's May 28th. So it's been 2 months and a day since I gave birth. I gave birth on my due date, and previously I posted the castor oil video where I took castor oil to induce my labor. So I don't think that the castor oil induced my labor, because when I took it once and nothing happened. I didn't feel any contractions, and then I took it again 2 hours later, and again nothing happened. I didn't feel anything, and I was walking around and doing exercises. I took a shower, I ate some food, like I was active, and then I fell asleep, and then at 4 o'clock in the morning my water just broke. So I don't think that the castor oil really did anything. I think my water was bound to break anyways, but previously at my 39-week appointment, I was already 1 centimeter dilated and 50% the face. So I think it was bound to happen. And my mucus plug had came out that week, the 39 week. So my water broke, and my water broke at 4 o'clock in the morning around that time, and my contractions were like 4 to 5 minutes apart, and they weren't bad at all. It was just like a sharp pain, but it took like 10-15 minutes for my contractions to actually start after my water had broke. Because my water broke, I jumped up and I was like, oh my gosh, like what the fuck, what's going on? Because I thought I spilled water, because it just like the edge was just cold, like the rush, it was just like it just felt like I dropped cold water on myself. So I went to the bathroom, my shorts were all wet or whatever from my water breaking, and I was sitting on the toilet, and I texted my friends in a group chat telling them like, bro, I think my water just broke. And I called, FaceTime my friend in California. I'm like, oh my god, my water just broke. I think I'm having a baby. I'm freaking out. I don't know what to do, but I'm like freaking out. But I'm calm. But in my head, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for this. So then, what the fuck happened? So, and then I texted my doula and told her that I think my water broke. She told me to call my hospital, and I called my hospital. And I had an appointment later on that day, because that was my due date, the 27th, and my appointment was at 10 o'clock that day. So I talked to the doctors, and like, well, if your water broke, you should come in right now. But my mom was sleeping, and my hospital was 45 minutes away from where I live. And I was just like, I was like, is that serious? Like, I think I'll be fine. I'll just wait and go to my doctor's appointment, and if my water did break, then we'll deal with it then. And she was like, the nurse was like, if there is blood when you wipe, then you need to come in. And the second I get off the phone with her, I'm on the toilet while I'm on the phone with her. So I wipe, and there's blood. And then I'm like, wow, I'm really about to give birth. This is crazy. So I go and I wake my mom up. I'm like, Mom, my water just broke. Like, we have to get ready to go. So my mom gets up out of her sleep, and we pack the car, and then we drive all the way to the hospital that I was going to. And because of this whole COVID-19 shit, we went into the wrong, we went into the right area of the hospital, but it's the emergency wing, so you have to walk from the emergency wing all the way to the labor and delivery wing. And my mom is handicapped, so that walking shit was dead, and I couldn't push her because I'm having contractions. Oh, and the car ride there, because it was a 45-minute car ride, my contractions at home were 4 to 5 minutes, and they weren't that painful. And then as I proceeded to get the car ready to go, they became 2 to 3 minutes, and they continued to be 2 to 3 minutes the whole ride to the hospital. They just increased in pain. So the car ride there was a bitch. It was so painful. I thought I was gonna die low-key. I didn't think I was gonna die, but I just was like, whoa. I don't know what I'm doing. This is a lot. I can't do this. Because it really hurt. It really hurt. It really hurt. But I was on the, I'm not getting no epidural. I'll get the drip. I'll do the gas and air, but I do not want an epidural, so I will just suck it up. I will just deal with this pain. So that's what I was doing. And then we made it to the labor and delivery wing, and I had to go in first by myself to get checked. So when I got back there, they did a cervical exam or a pap smear, whatever it is called when they use the little thingy that spreads your vagina. They did that, and she was like, either water is going to be coming out of your vagina before I even get in there, or where your cervix is, water will be coming out, or what. So she did that. She swabbed my cervix to see if the fluid coming out of me was my water, and she did her test or whatever. But I knew that I was getting admitted because I was not leaving. This is a 45-minute trip. I'm going to sit in the waiting room till this baby decides she's ready to come out, but I'm not going home. So she came back and she said, yep, we're gonna admit you, your water broke, you're in labor, whatever. So what happened then? Then my mom came back, and my mom's there being supportive. The contractions are getting worse and worse and worse. And they put the baby on a monitor like they didn't do for everybody. But I wanted the drip, and because I kept moving because I was in pain, they couldn't track the baby's heart rate well enough to give me the drip. So I had to stand still for like 20 minutes for them to get a steady show of her heart rate, like how it was and if she was doing good in the. So after the 20 minutes happened, they came and they gave me the drip. And the drip is amazing. I recommend for everyone that wants to go natural but wants a little break, because you're going to need a break. You're going to get tired. Your body's going to get exhausted. I recommend, if you don't want the gas in the air, to get the drip. Because the drip, sis, it was amazing. Sis, it was amazing. I was sleepy as fuck. I was talking about a bunch of stupid things. And then I took like a 2-minute nap. And then all of a sudden, there's a pain in my butthole. My butthole is burning. It hurts. Like, I feel like I have to poop. So the nurse comes back, and I forgot to mention that they had also put one of the monitors onto her head to track her heart rate when the stomach heart rate tracker was no longer effective. Pain, I'm complaining. Oh, and when they checked me out of the hospital, I was 2 centimeters dilated and 75% in face. So by the time the nurse came back in, it was probably like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning, I assume, and I was 4 centimeters dilated when I was asking for more medication because I was in so much pain. Everything chilled out. I took a nap for like 20 minutes, 10 minutes, 20 minutes. Then I woke back up because the pain was getting worse. They checked me again, and I was already 7 centimeters dilated. So at 7 centimeters, because was it 4? I'm gonna be honest with you, I can like only remember certain eclipses because I was out of it. But I'm pretty sure it was fast though. I would just say it was fast. I was at 2 centimeters. Then the next thing I know, it was in like 4 or 5 hours. I was already at 7 centimeters. My doula came because my mom was disabled and she wouldn't be able to give me the physical support that I needed. So my doula came like 7 centimeters. And by the time my doula got in the hospital, like I was in a lot of pain. I was getting my epidural. I ended up wanting to get the epidural because I couldn't handle the pressure of my stomach squeezing the baby down and the pressure coming from my butthole about to rip open. So I got the epidural, and I was 7 centimeters before I got the epidural. And as soon as I was done getting the epidural, it was time to push. I felt like I had to push. So I take the bed apart. My doula's there, my mom is there, and my doula's like got her little splash shield on. The nurse got her splash shield on. Whether people get splashed when they give birth, I don't know, but they have splash shields. So they're holding my legs. Well, my doula's holding my legs. The nurse didn't want to hold my leg for whatever reason. I don't know. I felt some type of way because, geez, it was hard pushing. You had to like curl your chin to your chest and then push out. So I'm doing that, I'm pushing, and I'm just pushing her head down from my cervical entry, that's what the nurse said, down to my vaginal canal. So that's all I'm doing. I'm pushing her down that little stretch. So then I end up, struggling a little bit. It took me some time, maybe like 5 or 10 minutes to get her down to my vaginal canal. But then I started pushing and I could feel the ring of fire. Like I could feel her head crowning and the stretching feeling. And then the nurse had the nerve to tell me to stop because the doctors wasn't here and they wasn't ready to come catch my baby. So the nurse is like, you need to stop, you gotta wait, the doctor's not ready, you can't do this, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, no, it burns, I gotta keep going. So I just kept pushing. I just kept pushing until like the burning wasn't that bad. So I'm assuming it was like the top of her head that came out, and whatever happened, I don't know. But the doctors came in or whatever. Oh damn, I'm gonna forget a whole part. So boom, let's rewind. So I think I had the drip. Yeah, I had the drip, and then her heart rate started decreasing. And so the nurse came in and was having me flip from side to side to get her off of her umbilical cord. I completely forgot that part. That shit was painful because I'm having contractions while also trying to flip over, and I have an IV in my arm, and it was just a lot. So back to me pushing. So I'm pushing and I'm pushing and I'm pushing, and then my little baby pops out. And it was the biggest relief ever. It was amazing. And they put me on my chest and I started crying. I was like, oh, mom, look at her. She's so cute. And I think I'm about to cry right now. And it was just the happiest moment of my life. I gave birth at 1:30 p.m. She was 6 pounds and 18 inches. She was 6 pounds, 13 ounces and 21 inches. I fucked that up too. But yeah. And then we did skin to skin, and we did like the golden hour where you just have your baby for the first hour after birth to do skin to skin and to breastfeed and to really bond with your baby. We did that. Then while we were doing that, I was getting stitched up because I guess I ripped one of my labias or whatever. So I'm drugged up on epidural and the drip. I'm pretty sure they're both going at the same time. I don't know. But I'm drugged up, so I'm loopy. I'm like telling the ladies down there that, yo, this fucking hurts. I don't have a fucking epidural. Like, someone needs to push my button. Like, and then I had a button from my epidural that I could have pushed to get more medication, and I was just running off of the test. Like, they give you a shot of epidural to see like if it works, and they ask you if your legs are numb, do you feel different? And that's what I was going off of, the little original shot that they gave me to test to see if you put it in right, and that's it. Like, I'm just like, why the hell did I even put myself through the pain of putting a needle in my back? I'm gonna tell y'all now, that shit does affect you. My back to this day really hurts. Like, things I could do before, like just bend over from the mid of my section of my stomach to like bend over a table or a counter or something, those things really hurt. Sitting down for long periods of time on seats that aren't very cushioned hurt my back. My tailbone still hurts. I don't know why my tailbone hurts, but that shit hurts. Yeah, so then we did that. I stayed in the hospital for 2 days, and you were like quarantined to your hospital room, and they delivered all your meals to you from there. But it was a great experience. I was very happy, and the castor oil didn't affect me at all. I had diarrhea, but my doula had told me that if you get diarrhea to drink a lot of fluids, so that's why I did. So I didn't have any problems. If you want to do the castor oil induction, I'm gonna call it, then you should definitely prepare to poop and prepare to drink a lot of water. And I was only in labor for 9 hours. It was really easy. She's my first child, and it was the easiest labor in my opinion. Like, I expected the worst, to be in labor for 13 hours, to have to get a C-section, all this extra stuff, and I was only in labor for 9 hours. And I only pushed for like 10 minutes. It was the best labor ever. And after that, while I was in labor, I was like, this is one and done. I'm never having a kid again. Fuck out of here. This is the worst thing ever. I'm gonna have another baby, guys. Like in 5 years. 5 years, I'm gonna have another baby. Hopefully it's another girl. I just think girls are so cute. And I got on this little girl clothes. I don't want them to go to waste. I wanna get my use out of them, you know? But yeah, she's crying right now, so I gotta go. Love you guys. See you in my next YouTube video.